Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Research as Celebrity. Today we have Dr. Ajay Kumar Mishra with us. A brief introduction of Sir. He has done his bachelor's and master's from Uday Pratap College, Varanasi, and then for MPhil and PhD he attended Delhi University. Currently he is a professor in Department of Chemistry at University of Western Cape Town, South Africa. He has earned so many different accolades around national, international science, which we'll be talking about these conversation during this conversation. But to start with, we'll say thank you so much, Professor Ajay, for taking time out for this conversation.
Thank you. You're most welcome, and I'm happy to support your cause. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words, sir. We always start our conversation that how and when you decided that you want to become a researcher.
Oh, that's a very interesting question if you try to see. Because since childhood, I had one kind of, wish in my mind that something, has to happen. Something has to be discovered which can help to the mankind. And that is how actually I used to create certain kind of poems and try to do by myself. And sometimes people try to, give a nice comment actually like what you are up to. And eventually, like when opportunities came, try to explore and try to move a little bit more further. And you develop, certain kind of a skill where you see actually like what exactly you can do. Still, like I became professor from last, around 12 years back. Uh, but I still have the hunger actually like what we can try to develop from our research group which can help to the humankind. And our research is basically work on the nanotechnology, and it helps for the wastewater purification. So that is one way actually it also uh, uh, compliments to the community, like where you are trying to see actually what you are trying to do there. But the research is like something, it's ongoing. It will be keep going. But if it helps with the society, and that's how the thrust of my research is.
Absolutely. I think keeping the society at the core is the driving passion for all the researchers globally. And now we are in the golden era where everyone is coming together to do interdisciplinary research, which is also a good example of what research you have been doing over past 2 decades. Let's start with the PhD days, sir. When you did your PhD, that was the time when people used to do MPhil also. So MPhil and PhD, moving from Varanasi to Delhi, the then thoughts what you had and which you would like to share.
That's a very nice question you ask, and I don't know actually. I have done so other interview, but I have not disclosed actually like how I land up to the PhD actually. Uh, because when I was doing my bachelor degree followed by the master's, I was thinking like I'm not in a staff for the PhD. Like PhD is something like very uh, people are so devoted and try to put their mind for 5 6 years 7 years. In India usually it goes like that, and even across the world if you try to see like it's not so much focused. They are trying to like go, and spend more time. So when I was doing my masters, I just tried to see like a small project I was doing in Banaras Hindu University, and suddenly like it was something like for the uh, discovering of certain kind of drugs using the simple thin layer chromatography. They were trying to make it there, and it was like going very uh, nicer way learning, and I was very excited like something has to come. But eventually, like after some time, I try to get bored. Actually, like this is just a crude research. We have to move little bit more further. And one of my friend actually like who suggested like, why don't you go to CDRI, which is the Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow? And there was a walking interview, and I went there, and while waiting for the interview, because the same day they do the written exam, and then at the night, actually, they tell you like whether you're selected or not. And while waiting, I got another fellow from Delhi University, and he says, "You are the stuff for the good university, like PhD." And I said, "I don't think like I am meant to do PhD because I found like it's quite." Then he said, like, "Why not you just join the MPhil?" And I was not aware, but suddenly I thought like it's good because MPhil will be very short period, and then I think I will get some good research experience with that. Maybe after that I will decide actually whether I can do PhD or not. And somehow like he helped and then got selected. And when I started my MPhil, it was giving me very much goosebumps, like oh, something like we can discover because the MPhil topic was something with the bioinorganic chemistry, like making certain kind of coordination compounds, which was helping for the antibacterial, antifungal, and somehow it was leading to the anti-cancerous. And I thought, like maybe I can try to discover what Rosenhoff has not done in 1972 by discovering cisplatin, because cisplatin is a good anti-cancerous drug, but it has a lot of side effects, and people have discovered thousands of drug after that, but still like there is no drug you can see like available even now, like which you can take and say like cancer can be cured with that. And that's why actually like more pioneering thought was coming to my mind. Actually, like look, let me just try to do, and then like continued, and we started publications, and there was certain kind of like shows which was happening in Delhi itself, like some education fair, and you try to go like overseas, universities are also coming, and then you interact, and you suddenly feel like, oh, maybe the PhD can be good. So you can see actually like it was not meaning, but these are the things came to my mind actually like it can do nicer things, and it can change your life, right? And through you, I can also say, like the audience, they can try to keep their thoughts like something you may not have meant for, you may not thinking, but something is already planned, right? So it will come to you, but what you have to do, like you have to have something called inquisitive mind, something like it is coming your way to like you are always, trying to see like something I can do much better things, and which can change the people's life actually and thoughts. And that's how actually the research domain is all about. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And this is something which often have been seen that the first experience or first exposure of research during those master's project have motivated so many researchers, because as you mentioned, if you have inquisitive mind and once you have tasted that research, then it is really difficult to give up on it. And then you can take any other way like academia, industry, and whatnot all, but then you are stuck with research, or I will say that you choose research every day. That is what makes you researcher. So sir, during that time you had that conversation opportunity like doing mphils. Now what over the period of time what has been changed is that now after masters kids jump directly into phd, and what you have done probably was one of the best things, that you experience it, you give yourself a chance to know that is this a place you want to spend for your rest 3 4 5 years, depending on how long your phd will be. Is this the group you really want to work with for these number of years, and is this the place where you feel that you belong there? Based on all of these questions, what your thoughts were when you were doing mphil, and then how it helped to transition to phd.
Right. Interesting to see your question, and some thoughts is coming to my mind as well. Like uh, I don't know whether you have watched. There is a one movie called '83. It is
Mhm.
based on the World Cup cricket, 1983. And there is a quote actually I try to remember. They says like, uh, like your once you win something and then your tongue is, looking for more, something. I am just forgetting the, quote exactly, but it happens like when we started, results are not coming. It's getting like so frustrating. And suddenly, like I discovered one terminology like, is it not? This is called research, you know, means
Yeah.
keep searching, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's how you are going to, get something. And suddenly, like once you got like your first publication, and then you say, wow, now where is the barrier? Where we are going to stop, right? And I put my, like thoughts in a different way. I was like very versatile to go. Like as I mentioned, like I was trying to go most of the education fair Du- during your even PhD program. Like I was going and applying to many places, and I got selected. Like one was Tsukuba University in Japan, the other one was Oregon University in USA. I think you are there, so you can, try to, link there. And that was like within 2 years of my after my MPhil and 2 years of PhD. And I just thought actually like I got good experience. It's better I can restart from there because I will have a, you know good platform and obviously like the international atmosphere. And then my friends and my, family, they try to see like, you wasted 2 years. I just said, no, I have not wasted. Actually, I got a lot of good experience and I got several publications out of it, but I just want to go there. Then they says like, you speak to your supervisor, he will decide what he will think. And then when I spoke to him, he just said, AJ, you are doing quite good. I think it's better you can continue, and within, you know a year you can be try to, bind up. Then I thought like, okay, that is a good idea. If I am going to bind up like in 1 year time, then obviously like let me just try to see actually like what I can do as a postdoc.
Hmm.
So while I was doing the PhD, I already had a thought actually like I can go for a postdoc, and I want to do certain kind of, different projects which can really help. So what I am trying to, share with you that if you are looking something, and if you are putting all your wings open, and you are going with a pure heart in the research, not like a, cheating around, doing some things like people are, trying to get some data, but don't go there. What you need to do is what you have it, what researchers are forgetting at this moment, if you try to see the real problem, when you are expecting, let's say one FTIR or the, ketone group is coming around 1700, 1720 something, right? If you are not getting that one, why not you like try to look at you like what is then you got it? What went wrong? Something something new happened. So that is the actual research. What I personally believe actually like we need to look there, because you never know when you are trying to follow that trail, you are going to make certain other kind of discovery. And if you try to see most of the research, whether you are looking for the Raman effect, whether you are looking for the graphene at this moment, it's all like a serendipity, right? So it happens even if you try to go even past like the density theory coming from Archimedes or Newton's law, like how he discovered the gravity. You see like how they have done. They were just bit what you call naughty, trying to, like see it like something can happen. And suddenly one thought came, it was like, oh, why not this way? So through you, I can say like if any researcher who's working for their master's program and looking for the PhD program, try to develop your mind towards like what exactly you want to get. Because this degree PhD, like you will be Dr. So and so, it doesn't make a big difference. What does it make difference is you like how much confidence you get in terms of like what data you have produced, and that data how you can implement in terms of the publication will keep coming and going, but the idea is like which publication you are so proud of, right? And that was thought actually coming when I was trying to do my master degree, and even like my PhD degree. I was just trying to see it like maybe I may not get my PhD, but I need to publish. I need to make sure like things are working there. And certain kind of compounds when we are trying to develop, I make the publication in a different way, like what about the structure activity, what about the thermal stability of the compound, right? What can be the mechanism between the bacterial cell wall and your compound? So those kind of things, like very less research was published, and I think that make a good difference for me actually, like to get more publication. It's not like I did something like the work which is like breaking the wall, or something very extraordinary. Idea is like it is done, it is already in the domain, but when you select, when you try to implement in a different way, it really helps. So open your mind, and you try to be like more or less, I can say, mischievous. Right, and then you can try to put it in a nicer way, and once you publish that one, you'll be always proud of that.
Mhm. No, exactly. I think being an open minded researcher, I think, is the basic quality which you have to have. As Professor Ajay just mentioned about this, that sometimes what has been seen, and that is one of the biggest reason of paper retraction, plagiarism, and whatnot, all because you are not open for the outcome of your experiments. If you have developed a hypothesis well enough, and then now you know that the results are not following it, instead of manipulating the data, it is the researcher's responsibility to understand that why it is happening, and that is what probably can open a new avenue for that research field. And that is what we have all been seen throughout the humanity. Whatever research we have today, some point of time it was not following the hypothesis. Whatever people at that time believed, someone, as sir said, was mischievous, which we say in our terms is courageous. That it doesn't matter that if you agree or do not, this is my science, this is what I believe in, and this is what is happening. And then when you share those results with that confidence, and when you are not ready to manipulate that, that is what makes you a real researcher. Now, coming back to Professor Ajay, when you mentioned, following your path, following your passion, understanding what you really want to do with the degree is one of the things which these days is on a rise. That when a PhD student, after spending 3 4 5 years, are dropping out in sad circumstances, they are committing suicide. Part of these motive of this conversation with as researcher celebrities, we want to know that how our researcher celebrities like you can tell these researchers who are going through that tough phase that nothing is worth life or that chronic stress.
uh, this is very crucial question for nowadays, what is happening in the current world. And my advice to all researchers will be, don't give up. The bigger challenge what is happening now, actually, like people tried once and they try to give up. Why? It's just a degree. It's just like, are you, have you not seen actually, like people are failing? Is it failing is a bad word in our dictionary? Obviously, like in dictionary, if there is a brilliant, excellent, whatever, but there is a failure, bad, those kind of words are also in the same dictionary. Is it not the same dictionary is complementing each words to each other? So end of the day, you need to see your potential within yourself. Like, look, I got this failure, but let me accept it. You never know what you are, you know, going to achieve in the coming days. And so many failures, if you try to see, the best example you can see with the KFC. I don't know whether you know that story. Like he started like after when people retired, he started a small burger with the cycling and now you see that this is a real brand. Actually, people are looking there. Even his wife left. You can see actually like people, everybody can leave, but what you don't leave, it's yourself, right? So if you don't leave yourself, go. I can tell you rather through you that when I started doing my master's, I was not able to speak. Look, I am fluently speaking there. And then I used to go to my mirror and speak to myself. Is it AJ you? Is that you who is going to succeed? So ask this question to you actually, and then I'm practicing my whole, presentation, everything in front of the mirror, and I'm giving myself my own marks. No, you just 4 out of 10, maybe 0 out of 10, right? So end of the day, judge yourself. Who the hell these friends are there? Who's going to tell you like you are a failure or you are poor or your performance was not good? You didn't answer the question. You know that what you didn't answer, you know that, right? Except that I don't know. Even with the Nobel laureates, I can see if you go to their lecture, I have attended, and I can tell you, they nicely come and tell you, like, I don't know this answer. I remember there was one Japanese professor was presenting, and we asked one question, and he came very closely to our ears and say, I don't know. And I was so amazed to see that. And that gives me a very good motivation or inspiration that we should accept, because the way we grow up like from the small town like Varanasi, and then now you come to Delhi, obviously like there is a lot of limelights are coming there, and then you go to overseas, we just hide ourselves, we try to showcase to the world like, we are, like as for my name AJ, like invincible, right? So you can say, but inside, you are not invincible. There is a lot of challenges you are facing, you are not able to do. Like the data, what you mentioned, you are expecting or your supervisor expect it is not coming there. End of the day, you need to compile that and you say like, what that is going to, take you around, right? What negative results get, what could have been the reason? And that is the publication you are going to crack in Science and Nature kind of journal. What people doesn't know, it's just a magazine, right? It's just like 1 or 2 3 pages they are publishing, right? But they are publishing with the real data, not like the data what you are trying to see or compose or try. So this is like a little bit advancement you are looking. So my idea is like, we can do the have the wrong data, we can have some failure, we can have like the publication what you are trying to say, like um, even like you are getting like 20 time rejection, what does it mean? Have you rejected yourself? No. And no means next opportunity, right? So look for that opportunity, right? Look for that opportunity what can take you somewhere, what you may not believe actually, like what you have achieved. So my suggestion will be to the people like, don't give up, try what you are getting there. When you are trying to see that frustration kind of moment, you try to look within yourself and and say like, look, this is not something what I wanted. Let me just evaluate myself and move something else. If it is PhD, it's not a destiny, you can do something else. Look at the entrepreneurship what people are doing nowadays,
Mm.
what has been brought up, a startup program, something you would try to bring up, like YouTube channels. Now people are trying to bring there, earning good money. I'm very happy with that kind of, at least people are trying to share the message in such a way like you can really do something much bigger things. 3D movie is a very good example there. The guy wanted to be a photographer, now the father want to be him to be an engineer. He's not meant. Don't accept that. Please go to your parents and try to convince. If they are not convincing, my friend, choose your path. You came alone, you are going to go alone. But if you don't find yourself, then who is alone? It's you, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think this is the best way to say, and part of these conversations is to tell them that you might or might not be in the right field. But as you mentioned, that whenever you are going through these tough phases, take a break, do the analysis that what went wrong. And if you think that this is not the platform for you, as Professor Ajay mentioned, there are more than research just one avenue which you can still enjoy your research, be an entrepreneur, do a startup. If this is something which really keeps you awake in the night, that is what you really want to do. We have seen researchers who enjoyed the time they were there for their PhDs, and during the PhD or in their postdoctoral time, they realized they do not want to do that. And then they move to the alternate careers, which is absolutely fine because they enjoyed every bit of a bit when they were doing it. But they knew that they want to take a new path for their future. Now, coming back, Professor Ajay, when you moved from Delhi to South Africa after your PhD, what were the things which were responsible for this move? And then after that, since now, how did this go?
Wow, very nice. I think, yeah, that question, I think I was waiting, like it is going to come from you because my friends are still teasing to me. Because when I submitted my PhD, I came here to have a good experience, like a postdoc. And they said, like, you are in honeymoon. And I didn't come back to the country. So now they still say, like, when your honeymoon is going to be over, right? So I'm still in honeymoon after 20 years in this country.
Right.
So I came here and I tried to see, like, obviously, like, there is a lot of, facts they try to tell about South Africa. What is like a far-fetched kind of stories. Like, they are completely unaware. um, People try to think like in South Africa means the temperature is around 60 degree, This is the way they try to, feel it. Even sometimes my friends like who's IITs or something, and then they says like, then why they are black in color? Maybe because the temperature is too much. And I just say like, why not you go to Chicago or, and then, then you find like why still people are like, the white people are still like white. It's a race, correct? So the people has to understand it. Like I got two kids, both of them born in South Africa, but they both look like us, right? They're not black. So what I'm trying to say, like, peoples are quite not aware about the country. And I was also one of them. Like when I came here, because my wife came, before me, and I just thought, like, let me give her company, like a honeymoon, as I told you. And when I come here, I try to realize, like, this is the place where you can grow exponentially because less people, no competition, and then whatever efforts you are going to put it, that's how you are going to get rewarded. I did PhD, as I mentioned, like MPhil PhD from Delhi University, and they're like just a small instrument like FTIR or UB or something. We are like in a big queue, which is a basic. Here, when I came as a postdoc, I'm the one who's handling all like a TGA, DSC, Bravender, Rheometer, DMA, TMA, those kind of, big UV FTIR is just like lying there, few of them. Nobody is using, right? So I had a good opportunity just to see it, like what I can try to, do it. Obviously, it took me like around 2 years time, and then I moved, to other university. Like initially, I came to University of Free State. That's how I started my career. Then I moved to small fraction of time to CSIR. Then I moved to UJ as my second postdoc, you can say. And immediately they gave me a senior lecturer. I think I think within a year, I got it. And why they got it, obviously, answer it lies because I was working hard, trying to publish more and more, data, try to write for the funding because I just thought actually like those hunger what I have created in India during my master's and PhD program. I think this is the right time we can just try to do because here was not that big competition like what we used to have in India, right? In United States, if you say UK, Europe, there is a lot of competition as there, right? Here is like if you put the right effort, good efforts, things, it is going to be rewarded in that way. And it happened to me. And then within another 1.5 years, I promoted to associate professor, followed by professor. So the idea is like, it was not like you have to wait around 8 to 10 years to move from assistant to associate professor, right? So like, even if you try to see the United States culture is similar like that, like you need to bring a lot of big funding. And after that, you have to follow the whole protocols and everything, right? So here was not that kind of things. And also like, not limiting with the students, like you can have not more than 80 student, or as per full professor in India that I used to know there. I don't know whether the circumstances has been changed, but here you can even having like 20 PhD is not a problem, because government want to improve more and more things. You bring the funding, and the good thing is like, to appoint the student, we need to have the funding. So obviously, like, you got the funding, you got the support from the university, and that's how you try to put it. And students were very courageous, very hardworking. For me, I was just instrumental. I got my first master, just to share the story, rejected by two supervisor, and then they says like, "See, just one of the useless lady," and I was like about to go from the postdoc to senior lecturer, that phase. So that was around 3 to 4 months, and then another supervisor who was mentioned, and then they come to me and they says, "Can you speak and try to find it out, like what's going on there?" And when I spoke to the student, and then I was just trying to see, "Chalo, what project you are trying to do?" She says she's trying to functionalize certain kind of material with carbon nanotube. I just said, "That's good, but where you want to use it?" She said she doesn't have clue, and that's how she's struggling. I just said, just look on, somewhere around. Look at the household, look at your offices. Don't you see some PVC pipes are there? Why not you improve the thermal and mechanical properties of that?" She got the idea, she wrote it, she got published the paper in Carbon, which is more than 10 impact at this moment. And also she got summa cum laude. Same student, rejected by two people. So idea is like, when you are a supervisor, you try to play your role in nicer way. Motivate the student, don't discourage. You never know, the same student is rejected. I'm not saying like I'm a very good supervisor. What I'm trying to say, like, because of that kind, good words, motivation, giving some ideas, it's not me who generated data. It's not me who has gone to the lab. Obviously, I did supervise. I did try to, write up the part where we are trying to do. But end of the day, it's a student who did. And we got published, and everybody's talking about like, "Hey, AJ, now he has changed the whole things." It's not me. Again, I'm telling you through you that it's not me. It's the student who got motivated and she did the right things. So the whole idea, what you are trying to bring it there, it's like when you are moving from one culture to other, like from Indian culture, come to the African culture. I try to find like it was a good quantum jump in terms of like finding good space. Same thing you can see it like the current way, what the student is there, what they are trying to get good opportunity. They are going to get it. Only they have to keep their efforts in the high note. All right. And then first they should motivate themselves, and then whosoever they think like they are getting a little bit down, because in the career it happens, always happens, like whatever you achieve, like you will always feel down. Just try to be a supportive. In this world, you have been sent by Almighty God to do something which is helping to each other. Otherwise you are not going to survive.
Absolutely. And I think competition is one thing which we always say, that comparison is the thief of joy. You do not compare yourself with anyone else. And then this brings us to the theory of not every supervisor can mentor a student, or a same student cannot be supervised with others. You have to see that niche, as you mentioned. The role of a mentor is to support the student realistically. They should not show them fake hopes also, keeping them standing and walking on the firm ground, training them with the most best suited skill set for their research projects, and also telling them do not compromise on your morals. Science, we have seen this inflow recently coming up where people are not following the ethical and moral values when we say scientific ethics. But this does not mean that a student cannot stand for themselves. As sir mentioned, you are the one who keep your passion alive in it. If you see that you are getting the pressure from your peers or from up of publication, that is when the time comes when you take a break, realize what is going wrong, what you really want to improve on, and then do it. And sometimes it ends up moving out those labs. Think about the student Professor Ajay just mentioned. The student moved from first supervisor to second, second to third. If the student have not done that part, what do you think would have happened with that student? Now, publication in great top tier journals, yes, obviously would. But what is more important is now, at some point of time, when the student was questioning themselves that are they good enough to do research, now they are actually having all of this confidence in them that yes, I know I can do it. And what changed? Professor Ajay gave this, warmth of confidence and giving them, showing the path. That is the real mentor. What they do, they walk with you to the path until you reach your goal, objective. Professor Ajay, having these students, you can realize some of them are there to really do something significantly important to make the societal changes. They are curious, they are inquisitive mind. Whereas you see some of those students for sure who have no clue what they want to do, and some of them even do not know why they are doing PhD. How you have helped those students, and if you can share some story.
Um, you are very right, actually, in that way. Like some students, they really don't have the clue. And I think that is the basic problem within the society we have. In the Indian society, again, I try to give you the quote from the Three Idiot movie. They always say, like, what your parents want, or what your relatives want, or friends wants, or the society wants, they will try to impose you. Have anybody asked you that what exactly you want to do? I have one small child, like my youngest child, and she was just like 2 years old. And I asked her a questions like, "What exactly you want to be in your life?" And she was trying to tell me very nice. She was looking at me, small, very nice smile. She make it, and then she just say like, "Why should I work for people?"
Nice.
And I'm just looking her, and then she's right. Actually, like if you are creating job for people or you are trying to run in the business way, obviously you can do that. If you want to earn money, it's not like you have to. So the societal mindset has to change somewhere, not to impose their own philosophy to the particular candidate. Like whosoever is there, they should be asking to like, how are you, what you are doing, if something they can try to help, but not like the basic questions you may see. Like if you are having job, they will say the first question like how much you are. Is this the right question? If if any student is there, they will, oh, what happened to your last grade, like how much you got. The moment you utter the word like 43 or 51 or something, you are something like like dustbin is like much better things, right? So they make you feel like that. But end of the day, people don't realize certain people who became the real creator of this whole universe, like people try to remember, including Mahatma Gandhi. You can see they was not like 99% achievers. They were very average students. Nelson Mandela in South Africa, very average people. Sometimes they failed, but look what they have created. what they have given a message to the whole world, like how you can rule, how you can conquer, right? So societal changes, mindset changes, the first step has to go. Second thing, the student itself, the candidate itself should not think what peoples are trying to tell him. I heard that story like many times people, you try to call like you are a donkey, you are a donkey, you are a donkey. Maybe after 10 times you will feel like maybe let me do some instrumentation check actually maybe I am. Correct? So the idea is like don't accept what peoples are, going to say. Again, you should be also not that big mischievous just to think like you are the extraordinary, right? Stay in the middle. That is why I follow a lot, Buddhism, where Buddha used to say, like, stay in the middle always. That gives you opportunity to like where to choose the path, where you want to go up or whether you are going to go down, right? So end of the day, the path, who's going to choose? Obviously, it's you. And then he also make a very good statement like, apo, dipo, bhava. If you try to see like, be your own torch bearer, right? So if you are going to be by yourself, by knowing the whole facts, and then you are trying to see like this is the way where you are going to have a failure. And again, if there is a failure, is it the end of the life? Not really. So many failures you can see like how they come up and they achieve. And most of the peoples who's like a big earner, like big businessman, especially if you try to look about Mark Zuckerberg and those kind of people, you see like it's your video, your photo, your friends, your internet, who's making the money. Try to think that smart. When you are having this thinking gap, think that way. How you can try to, you know, develop certain skill actually like which is going to not harming. Everybody is happy and everybody is making money, right? So end of the day,
Absolutely.
you need to look there actually. Third thing, what is also coming to think like the weaknesses. We
Mhm.
call it like a SWOT analysis, strengths,
Yes.
weakness. So opportunities and threats. So obviously you need to look within yourself SWOT analysis. Try to see actually like where is the real threat, where there is a lot of opportunities. Being there, and that's how you can go. And I can tell you tomorrow I have like I used to write. I have my own YouTube channel. Sometimes I try to go. Only I try to go just to motivate people. So some of the poems I try to write like tomorrow is yours, goal. So you if you try to follow what I'm trying to give the message, friends, don't give up. Okay, if you keep looking on your goal, things is going to go in such a way like tomorrow you are going to remember it's me who has achieved that much.
Absolutely. Having that feeling of, and this is something which I always say whenever we are talking to our senior professors or the people who just are in their middle stage of their career, that having this appreciation and giving them this reinforcement that they belong there, providing them confidence by keeping them on track is the responsibility of a mentor. Yes, sometimes you see the person, and we have had great conversations with our researcher celebrities where they at some point of time realize that they cannot work with the mentor, the mentee, and vice versa. But what they have also realized is where they can refer them, where they are the best suited candidates. And we have seen these in our conversations. I think that is what a mentor should do. You can, if the student is failing to do their SWOT analysis, it is part of your job to do that for them. And now you can guide them based on where are their core competencies. That is one thing which we have been hearing from some of our researcher celebrities, and obviously today Professor Ajay is sharing the same thing, that how it is important for the student and also for the supervisor who are going through that stress together, if they can do that. Now, Professor Ajay, when you are mentoring here your students and when you see that they are going through this tough phase, how do you deal with that?
So far, like I got close to 50 students who's graduated under me, especially the post-graduation one. I have not discovered anyone who's struggling. Maybe everybody comes with a very good smile, and because I try to take them in such a way like they're always motivated. I just when they comes and say like, Prof, I got very bad results, and just I just say with a smile, actually, this is the good day for you because you got the bad results, right? Let's sit down. Let's have like an outside lunch or that. Actually, like, what went wrong there? I am more curious to know what went wrong rather than what went right because we already expecting what is going to come. But if we try to realize like what went wrong, and that's how you can, climb the wall. But despite that, like sometimes if you see the student is not following, I have certain kind of my own philosophy of doing things. So I
Mm-hmm.
give the instruction like this is the way you need to write the paper. There is few things like I organize a workshop. I have my mentorship program as well, like where I have a pyramid, like the postdoc is reporting to me, then PhD is reporting to postdoc, and then the masters is reporting to PhD. So that kind of a pyramid I have it. But in between, I also try to go and see like what these mentors are playing the role, because
Mm-hmm.
PhD is mentor to the masters, right? And postdoc is a mentor for the PhDs, right? I'm ultimate mentor, but I try to define them like you should not take in your book that you are the right mentor. Mentorship has to be defined in such a way like anybody who can change your or influence your life can be your mentor. It should not be from this scientific world. It can be your, like a psychological doctor. It can be
Mm-hmm.
some like public figures, like a leader as well, where you try to see like that can be like my mentor, and you go in the, in contact. Like during my PhD, I used to interact with the Deepak Chopra. Like he is
Mm-hmm.
there in my LinkedIn field, and obviously his name is like very renowned figure. So people try to go. If they don't answer you, it's not a problem. You try to follow their blog. You try to see like how they are, what kind of messages you are, trying to bring it, right? So you can first you define the way your mentorship is going to work, right? Number two, I have a philosophy of which way like let's present, something like you can have. If you are not able to present your research nicely, at least you have your girlfriend, right? So take a
Mm-hmm.
topic and try to present yourself. Are you not feeling happy, sigh, whatever? Try to be, feel like what you are going to, bring it there. Maybe try to take your parents, try to talk about your friends. What I want is you like to open your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your words should be coming, your creativeness should be coming to you, right? Then the third step, I just say like, here is some paper. Try to make a gist. Try to make it like what they are trying to write it. But try to also find like what they have not written in the paper, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, if you try to find, that's your topic, isn't it? Who's discovering? I am just a mentor. I'm just your supervisor, right? But it's you who's finding your own topic. And the another step I try to put like try to define like you got your topic, you got your problem. Now you define your own deadline. Like let's say in 6 month time you are going to report to me these things, right? It's not me, it's them, because I know in 6 month time they can't do. It's me who knows, right? So this is my management tactics I try to do. And they come and obviously like not 6 months, then they come embarrassed, like, can I do in another extra month? And obviously I am the one who's winning because my target is achieved, right? I knew it is not going to happen, but end of the day, they are pushing. Lastly, it's their own degree, right? It's not my degree, right? I am done whatever. We are a senior professor. We are trying to do a lot of things together, bringing conference organization, funding, visiting, skill development, and then we are trying to say like, can I? I have one friend in UCLA. I have one friend in IIC Bangalore. Can you just go to visit them, see what kind of things are they are doing? When the student goes there, they say, "Oh, the student is working until 12 o'clock. The culture in South Africa is like after 4 o'clock, cats and dogs are also on the holiday. What should So I just say, just see. Doesn't mean like you should do, but if you want to do, learn the new culture. This is
Mhm.
called skill development, right? Culture, intercultural kind of things you are trying to develop, right? So end of the day, you are taking care, and then suddenly you just say today is no research. Few philosophy what I adopt like today is no research. Let's go outside. We can just play on the beachfront. We can have just lunch and come back. Psychologically, you are analyzing like how they are prepared or they are facing any kind of personal or professional challenges, right? So that things if you overcome, who's not going to perform in your lab? I can tell you, I got the student who got summa cum laude like vice chancellor award, but again, I am sharing with you because I'm happy, but it's their efforts, it's
Yes.
their things actually what they have achieved. I got like basically cum laude means here is like distinction like 75% plus, right? So
Mhm.
if I have like around 25 master student, I think most of them is like distinction because they publish. They are putting more efforts into like each of them are going to have like 2 or 3 publication. It's their efforts. Examiner is the one who's giving the marks. It's not me, obviously. So end of the day, you try to see there is certain kind of philosophy I try to follow, mechanism I try to follow. What
Mhm.
people, if through you are listening, they may think because I'm not trying to say like you need to follow what I am, right? I'm not the best, right? I'm just average. I'm just trying to see how I manage my group. If something can help, it will be very a good thing, and that is the way actually in the education field we do. We try to support and help in such a way like let's achieve something what has not been achieved. Be the
Absolutely.
own competitor. I always say like I have 3 people which is in big competition to me, which is me, myself, and I.
I be myself. That's a good way to say that. Whenever you are feeling up, then you have
Right.
one of these personalities to keep you down and be more, grounded. And
Yeah.
whenever you need motivation, you have one of this personality to say that you can do it. Because in research, this is one thing which has been coming more and more toxic when people are trying to compete for something, and it is worse when it happens within the same group. That's when where we have seen somebody's destroying or manipulating someone's experiment. That these all comes from this frustration that you have a goal for you which you are unable to succeed. But if you have a mentor like Professor Ajay, or at least this mentorship style, you can always have a conversation with your supervisor. What we believe in these researcher celebrity conversations, that being vocal, standing for your right, is right of all the student as well as the mentors. Because mostly it is seen that mentors are responsible if a student is not going through a good time. I can say, let's say, the responsibility of the student is also equal, because having those clear conversation at the starting of the PhD, when mentor is clear that what are their expectations from the student, and students also have to have that thing written down. And in some of the countries, people have these documented conversations that, okay, this is what I am supposed to do, this is what you are supposed to do, and then if there is any conversation or conflict, then these documents come into play. So never think that if you are a student, you have to follow what the supervisor says. In fact, some of the great theses came out of when the student did not listen to the supervisor. That is what we all know in field of research. Having these conversations, taking these timeouts whenever you feel burnout. Dr. Ajay, this is one thing which is very less talked, but thank God to the technology, to mental health well-being, now people started talking about it. How do you define when a student is going through a burnout phase?
Oh, good question. And you often see actually, especially when I visit to India, I try to feel that kind of, you know, students, I met them, and I try to see like they are very frustrated, and they are not trying to see any defined kind of role. Although in the capability they are quite better than other student who is already happy, or whatever they are mild achievement they have made it. The bigger challenge from there is like the expectation, because they are having the societal or the parental or the friendly, or the way you try to define, or maybe the super, the expectation is level is too high. My point is like, don't try to kill them. They are just a nice flower, they're just blooming. Let them grow, let them try to learn things. Not one day people can achieve everything, right? Although it is like little bit time spent, to give them some more time and try to get from them actually like what exactly in the farmer report actually like what is going wrong actually, and if it is going like still out of control, one has to make a step back and see actually like what could be done. In this phase I will see like the responsibility lies with the student. They should not completely feel like the life is gone if I have not achieved. I have seen few people's like when going through the PhD, and then they try to have this kind of phases, and then this is like life is finished. And as you mentioned in the beginning that they go with the different route of societal, they do. But I found like, is it not the stupid kind of thought is coming to your mind? What is happening there actually like, if your life is gone, you everything is gone, right? So what for you are thinking that direction. The idea is like you need to store your energy in such a way like you can think actually like, if not this has been done, let me think within myself like what can be achieved there. I have written one poem. I don't know, it's in Hindi. I just want to recite if you do allow.
Yes, please.
So I used to say, this is just 4 lines. It will be in my YouTube channel as well if somebody will follow. I just say, लड़ नहीं सकते तो तुमको तुम ही होना व्यर्थ है। लड़ नहीं सकते तो तुमको तुम ही होना व्यर्थ है। संकटों के बिन यहाँ क्या जिंदगी का अर्थ है।
Yes.
बेनिसार होगा, बेनिसार होगा एक नया भास कर उग जाएंगे। गर संकट के समर को पार यूं कर जाएंगे। गर संकट के समर को पार यूं कर जाएंगे। So my whole idea behind this one is like, who are you who cannot fight with the small kind of a challenges? The life, in this world we came to face the challenges, isn't it? This is a
Yes.
bitter truth. Because even I try to see like, if you try to see, follow a little bit Buddha, he he says like, what is the real reason about this kind of sorrow, grief in our life? Is because we came to this world. This world is full of all these things. This world is already full of challenges. That's what you came. So let's fight. Let's show to the people, right? If they are not seeing, it's fine. At least you can see. So end of the day, this burnt out can be easily, like sorted out with the thoughts what I have give you with my this one line of poem, or this kind. But this is again my view how to tackle.
No, absolutely. And I think this is where I will say to all my audience that today you have heard a poet, a philosopher, an explorer, a curious brain, yet a serious researcher. Among all of these, research has never left his mind since he conceived it, and you can see the mentorship he does. So, if you want, if any of the audience want to write to Professor Ajay, you can find him online. He's everywhere. If you want STEM for Society to put you in touch with him, we are there, happy to help. The only thing what we want from you is, if research happen to be your happiness, we are there to help you. But if you are in dilemma, if you need guidance, we are there always to support you. With this, we'll say thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much for taking time out and sharing this wonderful journey, and I'm sure igniting so many more.
Thank you so much. And I think I'm glad, we connected. And if something can change this ignition's mind actually of the young, I'll be very happy. And as you mentioned, I'll be more than happy to support anywhere I can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was wonderful having you. And for all the audience, stay tuned for another episode of Researchers Celebrate.